Welcome to the Open View podcast where everyone's view matters. I am your host, Dr. Lance Driscoll, and today we'll be talking about freedom or control, the cost of hoarding power, and the failure to pass the baton. Now, hey, I want you all to hear my heart today. I want you to separate the message from the messenger. All right? I think there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had, but I want to talk honestly about leadership, about legacy, and the uncomfortable truth we rarely address. Progress does not stall because of the lack of talent or intelligence. It stalls because too many of people, reach positions of influence and refuse to prepare anyone to take their place. That's what we're talking about. We praise wisdom, yet we fear succession. We celebrate longevity, yet we resist transition. And in doing so, we quietly sabotage the freedom we claim to fight for. This conversation is not about disrespecting elders or dismissing experience or any of that. It's about accountability. It's about self-accountability. It is about the understanding that leadership without mentorship is not leadership at all. It is control. And control, no matter who holds it, always leads to stagnation. If we truly believe in freedom, then we must be willing to pass the baton, not clinching until the race is over. That is the lens for today's discussion. Now let's get into it. Now, those of you know Dr. Umar Johnson, he's a motivational speaker. He's often referred to as the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Now, I don't agree with everything the brother says, but it was something that he talked about during the interview that really, struck me. And I was, a little convicted by it, and I was moved by it. So there are some things that he talks about that it kind of resonates with me. And so we'll start off by kind of covering some of that stuff, and I will go ahead and continue to layer my own opinion. So let's get into it. But what we're really talking about today is, our true dichotomy is not Democrat versus Republican. It is about freedom versus oppression. When we look at power in this country, particularly in our own community, the problem becomes very clear. Let's take the Congressional Black Caucus, for example. There are about 59 African American members, and more than half of them are old enough to be our grandparents. Now, while I absolutely believe in the principle that elders provide wisdom and counsel, and that the younger generation brings energy and execution, we must ask an honest question here. Why are senior citizens still carrying the full weight of the fight in Washington? And why are we surprised that progress feels slow when we refuse to pass the baton? See, this is not just a political issue. It's been a long-standing issue within the black community. We see it in the CBC, in our black churches and our black-led organizations, where leadership remains stagnant for decades. Too often, positions of influence are held tightly instead of being transitioned intentionally. The moment we feel or finally experience some real power, what we perceive as real power, that power that we historically have been denied, we become afraid to let it go. That fear shows up everywhere. You see it in our churches led by senior pastors who have been in the pulpit for 40 to 50 years, while capable, educated, and passionate pastors in their own congregation in their 30s and 40s never get the opportunity to preach. You see it in the workplaces where someone has held a position for over 30 plus years with no successor, no mentee, and no transition plan. If there is no one standing directly behind you ready to take the baton, that is not stability. That is failure in leadership. This becomes especially dangerous when you understand our numbers. African Americans make up roughly 13% of the U.S. population. We do not have the luxury of waste, stagnation, or ego. There is a small, very small margin for error in our communities. Every opportunity matters. Every lesson matters. Every delay costs momentum. That is why I take responsibility for sharing knowledge and positioning the next generation for success. Not because I'm better, folks, but because someone has to be intentional. If you do not advocate for young African Americans who are trying to move up or progress, right? How do we expect them to succeed? How can they reach the next level if we don't create the access, if we don't share the information, if we don't prepare them to take the baton when the time comes? Spending 30 and 40 years in a field without mentoring the next generation is not loyalty, it's selfishness. It reflects a I got mine, you get yours mentality. That mindset is cancerous. It has quietly destroyed generations of Black progress. Every time we reach a position of influence and refuse to lift someone else, the cycle repeats and the damage compounds. See, the consequences are real. Innovation stalls, institutions weaken, younger generations disengage, and leadership pipelines collapse. When elders eventually leave without successors, the power we fought so hard to obtain disappears overnight. Have you ever thought about that? Retirement party comes, everybody celebrates you. The next day, someone else is in your seat, right? So we got to be able to control that. The next generation is often left unprepared, resentful, and disconnected. My mission is very simple. It's rooted in breaking that cycle. I'm committed to educating and empowering the next generation of people who look like me and those who do not. I am not biased. I'm just aware of reality. We are outnumbered. And because of that, we cannot afford to hoard information or gatekeep opportunities. I once said we can't afford internal self-sabotage, right? Knowledge must be paid forward. Power must be transferred. Leadership must be cultivated intentionally. If we truly care about freedom rather than control, we must stop clinging to positions and start building people. Legacy is not about how long you hold the baton. Legacy is about whether someone is strong enough to carry it when you let it go. All right, that's it for today, folks. I hope you learned something and took something meaningful from this conversation, this one-sided conversation. I'll be sharing some weekly nuggets, practical insight you can apply immediately to reset, refocus, and keep moving forward. That's what it's about. For those who are already doing the work, I see you, I applaud you, I champion you. I look forward to connecting and working with you. The goal isn't for everyone to be the same. It's for all of us to move forward with purpose. We're different, but we share a common mission. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Dr. Driscoll, and this is the Open View Podcast. I'm out.